Democrats have wrapped up the first night of their Democratic National Convention here at the United Center in Chicago. It's 4 days filled with some pomp and circumstance and a lot of speeches from elected officials. But the convention really got off to a very important start on Monday night with President Joe Biden taking the stage. At one point, this was a convention that was in large part formulated around Biden. He was going to be the nominee himself, taking the nomination in that primetime headline Thursday night location. But with Biden having left the race and with Vice President Kamala Harris taking his spot as Democrats' nominee, this was an opportunity for Biden to take this national stage behind me one last time in a big political sense and basically give a farewell speech to a lot of these delegates who have supported him in elections past. For Joe Biden, this must have been a personally difficult moment. He spent more than 5 decades in elected office, serving in the Senate, elected first when he was even too young to serve at 29, for decades, and now having been vice president and then president for one term. So to take all of that into account and to have essentially been pushed out by some members of his party who didn't want him to be their nominee this go around, that's a lot that was clearly on his mind and would have been impossible to ignore as he takes the stage at this convention. But Biden, at least in his remarks and the way he projected himself from the stage, really seemed to be reveling in the moment. I happened to be positioned right in front of the South Carolina delegation, which was the one in 2020 that really turned things around for Joe Biden and helped him build up that momentum that propelled him through to the nomination for that first contest in 2020. Around me, I saw a lot of delegates filled with emotion, some even openly crying, as Biden launched into his nearly hour-long speech, taking through a lot of accomplishments that he and Harris have had in office, but also making his case for why they should elect her over Republican nominee Donald Trump in the general election. But a lot of us who are coming into this speech and covering Biden tonight wondered, what would his mood be? Would this be a sad moment for him after more than 5 decades in public elected office? Or would it be something celebratory to cap off his term in office and also be pushing forward his vice president, Kamala Harris, into her presidential campaign? What we saw was a strong Biden and also at times defiant, making his case against Donald Trump and arguing that protecting the soul of America, the way that Biden often talks about the importance of electing a Democrat into the White House, is of utmost importance when the opponent on the other side is Donald Trump. Biden was also quick at many points to, when he talked about accomplishments during his term, add Harris onto that, saying these are things that we have accomplished, meaning himself and the vice president. This will be the only time that we'll see Joe Biden during this Democratic National Convention. From here, he leaves on vacation to California, so he won't be here to see others speak later in the week, including Kamala Harris on Thursday night.